What is good? Fuck, good. Everyone. Shoobs here. This is so scuffed. I just want to note that KBDfans sent over this board and parts for a build and review, and I'm affiliated with them as well, so you can use the link in the description when purchasing anything from KBDfans to help me out. What is good, everyone? Shoobs here. Today we have a video that, considering this cursed hobby, is a absolute rarity. We have a build and a review of a keyboard that is, wait for it, that's in stock. With, wait for it, in stock parts. What the fuck? In stock? You gotta be shitting me, Shoobs. That's not possible. What do you mean you don't have to wait months or even years for your parts? That's blasphemy. That's not part of the mechanical keyboard rabbit hole experience. Well, here we are. KBDfans is one of the companies that's been around for quite a while and has made some iconic keyboards for many of the beginners, especially coming into the hobby. The Tofu and KBD75 have been a go-to for a lot of new people as they are readily available, full aluminum, and offer the build experience and options that make it a fully custom keyboard. If you search up Tofu or KBD75 keyboard on YouTube, my god, will you find a lot of videos. Well, today we have a brand new version of one of those keyboards, the KBD75 version 3. Now, if it was just aesthetics, I would not go out of my way to review this board since there are many KBD75 version 2 and version 1 builds out there. However, KBDfans went out and changed the entire mounting style of the board from tray mount to top mount. From my personal experience, top mount is one of my favorite and most consistent mounting styles on a keyboard and is miles better than a tray mount, in my opinion. So this is a very nice change. Okay, so a bit more detail on the board itself. It comes in at around $219 for a standard anno finish with a hot swap PCB and alu or polycarbonate plate, and around $199 for the soldered PCB version. A brass plate will add you around the additional $20, but I do not like brass, so that doesn't matter. For around $200 or $219 package, you're going to receive PCB, the case, plate, PCB foam, case foam, some stabs, as well as a USB cable. Additionally, there are some layout differences between the hot swap and the soldered version. Soldered, like usual, will offer you more options for the layout, such as split spacebar, as well as a Sangen layout on the bottom, as well as caps lock and all that, while the hot swap is just this one fixed layout right here. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we're working with. Alright, inside we have the PC plate, because PC plate is good. We got the foam. This is the case foam as well as the plate foam. We got the hot swap PCB because there was an option for hot swap and soldered, and you know what, I'm feeling lazy, so I went with the hot swap version. And finally, we have the board itself. This is the creamy white version of the board, I believe. Ooh, looks pretty damn clean. Oh yeah, that actually feels pretty nice. Also, I forgot to show, I actually took this out of the package beforehand, but we also got a set of the KBD stabilizers, which I think are sort of like Durox, so these would be pretty good. No need to be clipped or anything, and the little accessories as well. Oh yeah, we also got the USB-C cable. Let's see how this looks like. Oh, it's pretty standard USB-C cable. And it actually doesn't smell terrible. Nice. So looking at the board itself, it is actually very nice. It feels very premium. It's got a bit of a heft to it. It doesn't have any brass parts, but it's actually quite hefty, and the construction is really solid. Side profile is pretty standard, a wedge. It does have this acrylic sort of panel going through, so you can see some RGB underglow with the PCB, and you know what? That is alright in my book. Some RGB is always pretty lit. So let's take this apart and get on with the build. Actually, we gotta do the stabs first. Every time I do these videos, I fucking forget the stabs, cause oh man, stabs are a pain in the ass. This is actually my first time testing out the KBD stabs. Has a installation tutorial. We're pros at this shit. We don't need this fucking yeet. It comes with some stab pads, optional. We're not going to use those because I actually don't really like the mushy feeling that this is. We got some washers, some screws, and the stems and the housing are actually separated, which is pretty lit. So looking at the housing and the stem, there's no clipping needed, and there are little hooks to prevent it from popping out, the wires. And yeah, these look like they are as good, or yeah, as good as Durock V2s, which is pretty nice. And we're done. So for the switches, we'll be going with these TTC Gold Pinks. I wanted to check these switches out for a while now. These are extremely light with a operating force of 37 grams, and honestly, I've heard real good things about these, that these are really smooth, and goddamn, these are one of the best stock switches, and honestly, feeling them now, I can confirm that these are probably the smoothest stock switches I've ever tried. Like, these are smoother than Tangi's. These are like real smooth, like real smooth, real smooth, oh my, what the fuck. So we're gonna be giving these a try in its stock form, because you know, less work the better, and with in stock everything, might as well make it easy for the entire build and use these stock switches, because oh my god, these are fucking smooth. Welcome to a short episode of Ashkeebs Talks without a fucking script. So the stabilizers are pretty damn good. They are, I think I like them a little better than Durock V2s actually. Much straighter wires from what I've tried, but these are lubed with 205 grade 0. This was a very simple build, standard top mount, no frills, no extra shit going on. Very simple. And honestly, it was quite a breath of fresh air to go back to the basics like this. Finally, for the keycaps, we'll be going with these in-stock PBT cherry profile die sub keycaps from KBDfans. And well, here it is. Honestly, the keycaps look pretty damn good. Personally, not the biggest fan of the sort of condensed 75 layout, rather it be separated a little bit, but this is a compact sort of version. Side profile, pretty clean. Let's actually plug this in and see how the RGB is like. Okay, so even with the case film and stuff, the RGB is pretty damn clean. Oh, RGB, look at it glow onto my hands, I feel the power. Anyways, let's see how this types and feels. Okay, so what do I think of the board? It's good. It's a very simple cookie cutter top mount, and the mounting points are pretty standard as well. It is very comparable to the typing experience of the KBD67 Mark II, and it honestly feels pretty good. It is decently stiff as expected of top mount, but with the PC plate, the bottom out is relatively softer still, and there is indeed some flex even with the foam installed. As for the sound, it has that signature louder and harder hitting top mount sound that I really do like. I cannot compare this to the GMMK Pro since I have not tried that board, but compared to the Keychron Q1 that I did try, right out of the box, this board is stiffer for sure, but has a much more pronounced sound and is not as hollow. Also, a quick mini impression of the TTC Gold Pinks. Man, these switches are actually really damn great. I would honestly use these stock. Like, this is like, they are damn smooth. Like, there's no leaf ping or spring ping, and they sound quite crisp. Probably the best stock switch I've ever tried so far. If you're a super lazy motherfucker that doesn't want to lube anything and use stock switches, I don't really recommend it, but I would recommend this switch in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't honestly feel that bad because these are very good stock. As for the keycaps, for the price, these are pretty decent, very comparable to the polycaps from Kinetic Labs, and honestly a decent budget option for sure, especially if you want these Japanese sub-legends because you're a fucking weeb like me. All in all, I would have no trouble recommending this board to anyone looking to change from a tray mount or get into the mechanical keyboard hobby, or is just looking for a 75% with a full aluminum body, because the build for this is very solid. Like, it feels like a tank, and it's got quite a heft to it as well, and honestly, that's a very solid build. Also, one of the very big up points of this board for me personally, and probably for a lot of people, is that this is really great right out of the box. It comes with everything you need, doesn't have any hollowness, doesn't have any pinginess. It is a very solid, just a full complete package right out of the box. No hassle at all. Honestly, out of like the main sort of budget, or not really budget, but like entry enthusiast sort of 75% boards, this is a very solid option. Top mount, you can't go wrong. It's a little boring, I get it. Top mount is a little boring. You don't get that gasket, foam action going, but top mount, honestly, for me, has never lost. Very happy to see KBDfans changing it up and giving some better options to its readily available lineup, because this is a pretty solid board. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for 64K. That is crazy, and thank you guys so much for watching the video till the end. More videos coming soon, more Switch reviews, more keyboard videos, and more comedy videos. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.